What is the word now? Will the parade move forward?
At this point, we are monitoring it from moment to moment. This is not a political or business decision. Ultimately, for us, it is a health care decision. We have resolved to listen to the directives from the State Department of Health and the Centers for Disease Control. And so we're in communication with them daily. We want to make sure we have the best data and the best information in order to make our decision. And so at that point, we'll make that call should their recommendations change.
How might what other areas are doing influence the decision that you all are going to have to make here ultimately? We learned today, at least at the time of this recording, that Ireland has already canceled all of its festivities. Boston, that has a massive parade, has canceled its parade. Do you think those decisions will weigh into your decision?
I don't necessarily think so. I think that we have to look at it based on Savannah and Georgia factors, and so I think we have to make it based on the data that we receive as it relates to Savannah, Georgia. We are okay now. We want to remain okay, and we want to do all we can to make sure we're okay. I think the other issue is that there are some implications of canceling because people are still coming. People are going to come regardless, and when they come, how do you accommodate them? How do you address their needs while they're here within our gate? So again, those are logistical factors that have to be considered and thought out, and we trust that once we receive some directives from the health department, that we'll be able to move accordingly.
So what is your concern at this moment?
Well, our concern is always about the safety of not only our citizens, but those who work in areas that will be heavily populated by people. But again, we have those same issues all the time. Savannah is a place where people come, and people have come last week. We had a bunch of people in town. We'll have a bunch of people in town from here going forward. So the safety of our citizens, the safety of those who are coming here from other places, and to make sure, again, that what we're doing is based on science, it's based on data, and that it's a responsible decision.
So right now, things are still a go. Is there a deadline that you've maybe given yourself or city government has given itself to make this final call?
Well, our point is that we want to be able to make sure we have enough time, again, to have the best possible information if and when we make a decision to do otherwise. I would suspect that on Thursday, before the city council meeting, we'll receive a final briefing, and then from there decide where we're going to go, if not before. Because obviously this situation is a little bit beyond just St. Patrick's Day. For us, it will be a daily way of life. This is change, what we're thinking and how we think and how we move and how we interact with each other. We have several festivals after St. Patrick's Day that then would have to be taken into consideration. And then, of course, schools are very close to our hearts as well. So, again, it's a lot of moving parts, and we just trust that we'll make the best decisions with the best available information and with communication with all of our partners.
I'm just wondering also, are you in contact daily with our local hospitals?
We are in contact with them multiple times a day. Again, the communication is very important. The city of Savannah is not alone in this. We have partners to include our healthcare partners, and for them, knowing the information on the ground from what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, has been very important to us, and again, will be important to us as we move forward and decide what we're going to do in the next for the next 10 days.
So, Mayor, we also have received some concerns about, perhaps the readiness of our local medical centers, just even beyond St. Patrick's Day. Do you have reason to believe that they are adequately prepared for an influx of patients that is possible?
Well, I think that we are blessed with two of the best health systems anywhere in the country, in Memorial and in St. Joseph's Candler. I think that we have doctors that are well prepared at the top of their game as a result of epidemiology and dealing with infectious diseases and illnesses. And so I believe they'll handle what comes to them. And so if we need help or have to rely on other resources, they're resourceful enough to be able to do that. So I have full confidence in them, and we're blessed to have them as part of our community.
Any last thoughts, Mr. Mayor, that you'd like to leave with citizens here in Savannah?
Well, sure. These are some strange times we're living in. We've had different viral outbreaks that have had us scared. I think that we should not resort to paranoia, or we shouldn't resort to fear. I think we need to just make the best decisions we can with the information we have, and in any case, always proceed with caution. Make sure we're washing our hands and making sure that we limit our personal contact. And for people who are sick, if you're sick or if your child is sick, make sure they stay home. And again, I think some of those common sense measures will help keep people safe. And just like most things, this too will pass.
Mayor Johnson, thank you so much for your time tonight.
All right, thank you, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.